Institutional mistrust in America over the past couple of years has sadly been earned. We're now just past the one-year mark of the disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal. And as the military leaders in charge escape any semblance of accountability about the myriad of failures, including 13 dead Americans, the Taliban held celebrations at Bagram Air Force to celebrate the anniversary. We must also never forget how our commander-in-chief classified the withdrawal. Listen.
The extraordinary success of this mission was due to the incredible skill, bravery, and selfless courage of the United States military and our diplomats and intelligence professionals.
Incredible success. In the end, truly, only one man, the one man punished in the aftermath, was Lieutenant Colonel Stu Scheller, eventually discharged for publicly demanding accountability from the leaders over their failure. Lieutenant Colonel Scheller joins us now. Congratulations on your new book, Crisis of Command. Folks need to check it out. It's the real story of what you went through and why you spoke out. Your reaction, Colonel, to where we stand 1 year later.
Pete, thanks for having me on, brother. Right now, I wrote this book for the American people. I think the American people need to see where the military has gone adrift. It's the same problem with the FBI. We have these government organizations that have drifted off track, and right now we need honesty, we need integrity, and we need courage. And we need people that can hold people accountable. And so I wrote this book for the American people. It's not just about Afghanistan. It's the last 2 decades, really since Vietnam, where the military has gone unchecked. And we need leaders with courage to take a hard look at what's going on.
As has been said before, a rifleman who loses a rifle gets more punishment than a general who loses a war, yet you were the only one that spoke out. The White House was asked why they haven't talked about it if it was such a great success. Here's a statement from the White House press secretary on Monday. Listen to this.
Tomorrow marks the one-year anniversary of when the president marked the end of the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, and the end of the war there. How does the president plan to mark that occasion? Does he plan to speak to the American people? Does he plan to honor the lives of the 13 service members who were lost?
As you know, last week on Friday, we did put out, the president put out a statement.
They put out a statement. So they put out a statement. Got it. We know they don't care. They want to talk about it. They know it's a disaster on their watch. When you point the finger and you talk about accountability, is this more of a political failure of the White House and what they did, or is this a failure of generalship? I mean, where do you, as someone who spoke out, point that finger?
Yeah, this is a great question. I think President Biden made a lot of mistakes, but I think the whole system failed. I think General McKenzie failed. I think General Milley failed. You know, the generals testified that President Biden ordered to drop down from 2,500 to 650 troops, but they never testified that President Biden ordered them to evacuate Bagram Air Base, the key piece of terrain that we needed. The generals unilaterally made that decision because of the restraint of 650, and that's not good enough. We need senior leaders in critical moments to stand up for American values. And right now we have these people-pleasing creatures that don't do what we as the American people expect them to do.
Any regrets, Colonel? I remember talking to you. You spoke up thinking maybe many more would follow behind, and then you ended up being basically the only one who had the courage to speak out. Your thoughts on what it took for you?
Pete, I wrote a plan when I was in jail, and I thought to myself, they better leave me in jail or I'm going to make changes to the system. And since that time, I have gone out and I have accomplished everything I've wanted to. I know a lot of people just look at books and they think, you know, here's another guy that wrote a book. Congrats to your success on your book. But I'm telling you what, there are books out there that can project a plan, and this is all part of making the American people aware of what's going on. And then we're going to move on to the next thing. We are going to make changes because the time is now.
If there's anybody who wrote a book that deserved to be read because of the courage of what you did, it's you. The book is Crisis of Command. Check it out. It's out right now. Lieutenant Colonel Stu Scheller, thank you so much for being here and for everything you've done for the country.